Hello, this is Peter Janoski with Figure It Out Baseball, back with another episode of Real Dugout Confessions. Today I am joined with John Chalus, catcher at Mercyhurst University and a longtime friend of mine. We grew up playing against each other at rival high schools, Upper St. Clair and Bethel Park in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Chow, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's up, Peter? Thanks for having me on here. Love it. So about me, grew up in Bethel Park, loved it. We had a lot of success in high school. We actually won 2 state championships, which is nice. I got to win one of those with my brother. Got to catch him in the state championship that we won. It was awesome. Had some success in the summer. Then got here at Mercyhurst University freshman year. I redshirt freshman year, walk into campus, and then there's this freaking big John Susnick. He's like 6'6", 220. Great dude, love him, still a friend of his. But he was a senior at the time. He took the job. And then so I redshirt freshman year. And then in the summer, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna work hard. And then next thing you know, tear your UCL in the summer. It sucks, but you get the surgery and then you keep working after it. And then like here I am, like about 8 weeks in.
So similarly to Chow, just like in high school, being at rival high schools, we were also at rival colleges, at least for last year and years prior. Me being a redshirt freshman at Seton Hill this year, and John being a redshirt freshman at Hearst this year. Hearst just recently transferred from Division II to the Division I level. So, Chow, how's that affected you at all? You guys getting any new gear because of that?
Well, I'm sure we're bringing in some more money. Haven't got any gear yet. We'll see. That's usually a Christmas gift. That's like Christmas for us. But no, I mean same head coach. We got a couple new coaches, pitching coach and hitting, catching, hitting all those. But man, nothing changes. We're still gonna be the same Mercyhurst team. We're still gonna put our work in. We're still gonna dominate. Nothing else really changes. And I feel like we're a D1 team anyway. I feel like all the underlooked people kind of like go to the PSAC, that can be D1, but they either go here because they want to play more or just they get underlooked. But I think that we're a D1 team anyway, so I think this transition is going to go very well.
So, Chow, walk us through your recruiting process and this journey and ending up selecting a PSAC school for. I mean, you and me could say we were underlooked in some way. I know we were recruited later into our senior years, our junior years, and then committed early in our senior years. So just take us through your journey of ending up at Mercyhurst.
Yeah. So I think it was around sophomore year. I want to say more in the fall, but I did get a D1 offer. But it's just so early and it's your first offer. So you're like, I kind of want to see what else I can get. Like, I don't want to just see one school and then just boom, commit right there. So you kind of just like, you don't blow them off, but you're like, I want to see more. And being a D1 school, you want to recruit early. So they're like, all right, I appreciate that. And then they move on to the next guy because they want people early, that the good people get early. So I let that slide, and then I just wanted to see more options. And then, yeah, it was like junior year almost that I got a couple more offers, a couple PSAC teams, and I just decided to go to Mercyhurst. So I thought they were a great program. The campus is beautiful. I actually had a high school buddy of mine, Ray Altmeyer. He was committed to Mercyhurst before me. So I thought we'd go there and be buddies again. But no, yeah, I just thought it was a great program. They had a lot of success. And like I said, I thought they were a D1 team anyway.
So looking back at your recruiting process, I mean, both of us had a similar experience playing on the Allegheny Pirates scout team together, getting looked at by some similar schools. So for our viewers at home, would you say that there's anything that you would do differently in your recruiting process if you could do it over again?
No, I think I've did everything possible. I worked my hardest. Was on the good teams to get recruited. And people when I talked about like the transfer portal, like that, it ruins some things up. They think, I mean, yeah, you can get someone like older than you, stronger, better than you, more experienced. But like to my knowledge, like you can't get someone out of high school in the transfer portal. So like I felt like I was just owning up to myself. I had accountability for it. Like, yeah, they can get someone older than me, but they can't get someone in my age. But yeah, I thought I wouldn't do anything different. I love where I'm at. And we went D1, and I just love where I'm at. People wouldn't do anything different.
That's great to hear. And now that you're at the Division 1 level, might be a little bit busier. So take us through what a typical day is going to look like as a student athlete.
Boy, I think we haven't the schedule hasn't came out yet, but there's gonna be a lot of traveling, a lot more traveling. Um, I'm not 100% sure what it will be like, but I know it's a lot of traveling. Practice every day, um, lifting at least three times a day. Um, and I feel like we're gonna have to do a lot of schoolwork on the bus and on the computer, kind of remotely. So we'll see how that works out.
So, yeah, I know you do a very good job at balancing college and baseball. And me and Chow also, if we didn't have enough in common already, we work out of the same place back home, Teleo Performance in Bethel Park. And we talk a lot about proper nutrition and taking care of your body off the field. So, Chow, what's your routine look like in terms of nutrition and sleep? And how do you balance that with the heavy workload of school and baseball?
Yeah, good question. I get the food from the cafe. I try to pick out a carb, a protein, and get some fruits and vegetables mixed in there whenever I can. But no, I try to pick out the good things. I mean, our cafe is awesome. They always have chicken and rice every single day up on the little table there. So that's always an option. So if I don't like what's up on the daily dish, I'll just be like, all right, let me just get some chicken and rice, or just these hamburgers that are supposed to be grass fed. I hope they are. My last resort's always that. So that's nutrition wise. And let's go to the sleep. I always try to be in bed by 11 because usually they say it takes you like about an hour to actually fall asleep. So if you think you're getting 6, you're really getting 5. So no later than 11, I try to get to bed. But like you said, you kind of got to balance that out with your schoolwork because you couldn't do it during the day because you have practice. But ultimately, I pull up my calendar and then I just put practice so I know what time's already there, what's taken up, and then I just kind of fit in my studying time and then make sure 11 on is completely good.
So to further that, taking care of your body, I know that you've battled with some injury recently, and this past summer you've had some surgery, and you mentioned earlier that's Tommy John, and for those at home, that's when you completely tear your UCL and you need a reconstructive surgery. So, Chow, like we know that can be mentally trying. I mean, I can attest to that having battled with a similar injury, but how have you stayed persistent and positive through times of not being able to play?
It can be tough, but you were part of it. Breakthrough Pro. John Dennis and Sean Casey, they're the speakers of it. Absolute great program. I hope whoever listens to this, I hope a lot of people do. You should go to Breakthrough Pro. It's amazing. It does cost some money, but again, it's amazing. It'll change your life. And I think that's what really started me to go on the right path mentally. Little quick story about John Dennis. We go to him for lifting, and I show up and I'm like, JD, you're not gonna like this because I've already been talking to him about like what I can do for lifting because I just tore, or I thought I did because I didn't go to the doctor yet. But I went to the doctors. I came back. I'm like, JD, you're not gonna like this. So he's like, you got to get surgery. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know what? I'm not sorry. I was like, oh, really? Thanks, JD. Like, that's awesome. But he was like, there's something bigger on the other side of this. Like, you think about it in life, like the worst thing that happened to you, there's always something bigger on the other side. Like there's a bigger, way bigger high than low. So I think Breakthrough Pro really helped me through that process a lot. Because I mean, if you know you give them an identity, they'll give you a process and a whole protocol. And if you don't have an identity, they'll help you get one. But I really think that they were really helpful in that process, and I put all my thanks to them.
So I'm going to recollect a specific memory that I have of, I believe it was this past spring. You and me were lifting together at Telio, and you said to me that I've been working on the mental a lot. So apart from Breakthrough Pro, like what does that mean for you? Like how have you been working on the mental to better yourself on the field and off the field?
Well, going back to Sean Casey again, he told me about this book. There's Mental Keys to Hitting by Harvey Dorfman, and then the Mental Game of Baseball. This one, absolute amazing book, and I've learned a lot from that, and they even give you some actions to do for it. So I was reading that, and then getting so much knowledge, and as we know, knowledge doesn't equal power. You got to put the action into it with the knowledge. And so I've been really seeing the actions go with my knowledge, and just really seeing the results. And I think that book helped me tremendously. Not even baseball, but life. Like it's all about baseball, but you can easily relate it to life.
So, Chal, I just have a couple more questions for you before we end here. And first of all, I just wanted to ask you, like, I know that Harvey Dorfman, like, that helps a lot. Like here at Seton Hill, like we definitely talk about his practices and talk about visualizing a lot. And we know that at this higher level, like you're not always going to get the reps that you want. So it's important to visualize off the field when you have time. And I was just wondering, because I know you do that. How does that work for you? How do you visualize?
Well, I make sure I have a bat next to any mirror. I like to I like to look in the mirror. My roommates always give me crap for it, but I go in front of the mirror and I just look on my load and like visualize a pitch. That goes for hitting, but or just sometimes I just lay in bed and can't fall asleep or I'm bored. I'll just visualize a pitch or visualize me catching something. But I think visualizing is a great thing for you, for anyone. And also Harvey Dorfman tells you a lot of practices you can do to strengthen your visualization. I've done those a lot. There's like talks about colored balls and how to imagine them. You gotta make sure you get all the senses, the color of the texture, like you really master that baseball and the color, what it feels like, what it smells like, all that stuff. So I've been doing those to like make sure in my mind's I got the strength to visualize, because visualizing can be hard. But like I said, I just go in front of my mirror, look at my load mostly, and just visualize a pitch or anything. But that's all I've been doing really right now. I can't do much, as you know, baseball. And that's why I think I'm getting so much better with baseball right now, more than I would not being hurt. Because baseball is like 90% mental, right? The other 10's physical. I mean, I laugh at that 10%. I mean, I'm the hardest worker. No one can outwork me. But I got to laugh at that 10%. I know I have the bag once I'm done. But if I master that 90%, the majority, then no one else can beat me.
That's great stuff, Chal. We're going to end the day with a fun question. And I know you're often limited in the dining hall with what you eat, but what's your favorite pregame meal?
I mean, usually whatever they got. If it's early in the morning, I love my eggs, I love my bacon, my potatoes. I feel like we usually play early, and that's usually what I eat before a game, just because of the luck of it being breakfast. But if not, if it's it's like around 2 o'clock, maybe the game is. I'll throw down a little PB&J. You never go wrong with a PB&J.
That's right. Never go wrong. Chal, I appreciate you joining me today, and best of luck to you this spring.
Thank you, dude. Thanks for having me on here. Loved it.
Of course. And for those at home, this is Peter Janoski with Figure It Out Baseball's Real Dugout Confessions, signing out.